Welcome to Beauty Talk Podcast. I am Veronica, your host, and today I'm excited to introduce Cindy Romo, a Chicago-based hairstylist and entrepreneur. Cindy has been in the industry since she was 19, started at a blow-dry salon, and eventually moved to a full-service salon. 5 years ago, she launched her own hair extension line, and today, Cindy will be sharing her journey from building a clientele focused on extensions to managing her business as a single mom, and so much more. Get ready for an exciting and insightful conversation. Cindy, thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to interview and to share all your knowledge.
Thank you for having me.
So, what really got you into the industry? How did you start at 19? What were you doing then?
I didn't want to be in the industry. I felt like I was kind of forced into it. I was a teenage mom. And when I graduated high school, I was like, I can't go to college. I need to make money like now. So beauty school was only 10 months to a year. I was like, that's perfect. So I went into this knowing absolutely nothing about hair, not even wanting to be in. I didn't want to be in it, but I did it. I graduated, and here I am years later. Isn't that crazy?
That's exciting.
Yeah.
It is crazy, but exciting. And I also feel like even though you were in the beauty industry and this is not what you wanted to do, you have become an expert. You have become an expert in extensions.
Yes, right? I say so.
Yeah.
I say so.
So would you say, how long has it been that you've been really mainly focusing on extensions?
It's been 5 years.
5 years.
I do the hand tied. I mainly use, there's a ton of techniques, which I'm sure we'll go over, but I mainly specialize in the beaded weft, which is using hand tied wefts. That's just my favorite. I learned that way, and that's how I'm comfortable. That's what I feel is like the safest technique out there as well.
Okay.
And it's so seamless, so I just stick to what's, in my opinion, the best.
The best. I love that. So then I feel like that is such a specialized little niche. What told you to say, I'm done with blow drying, I'm done with doing all of these other services, or are all those services still included in your extension?
I mean, you should definitely know those services, right? But to me, it was more like I need to make more money. When you're working at a blow dry salon, you're getting paid hourly, and your tips help, but they're not, people are not required to tip, and you shouldn't expect it, right? It's like nice, but at the time, to me, extensions, it was only like K-tips, and I think people were doing tapes, but I had no interest in it. And I started building a clientele on color. I love doing color as well.
Okay.
But it was like, I need to make more money. Like, it just wasn't doing it. When you do color, like, well, you don't have like color like that, but most color clients are seeing you like twice a year. That wasn't cutting it for me. Where extensions, it's a maintenance, so you have to come to me every 6 to 8 weeks, like religiously. So to me, I was like, I need to find something that brings the money in. That's really was for me, to be honest with you, and I absolutely love it.
I mean, I watch your reels all the time, and if you guys don't follow this woman, she's absolutely hilarious. I mean, you are so entertaining.
Thank you.
Even in person, I think this is our first time really just sitting down and having like a real conversation.
Yes.
I do remember the first time that I met you personally was at a photo shoot.
Yes.
And it was kind of something for one of your good friends, and I ran up to you and I was like, "You're a hair thug."
I was hair thug at the time. Now I'm hair wife. I rebranded.
Yes.
I rebranded. I do love hair thug, but I was just like, man, I'm going to be 40. I can't be like a thug in my 40s. Like, I'm an old lady, So, but no, I do still love hair thug. But yeah, no, I do remember that photo shoot.
Yeah. So
networking.
That is so hilarious. And I love that you have evolved, and not only a professional, but an expert in your field.
Yes.
So why do you think that right now women are getting extensions more often? Or is it a trend, or has this always been and we just didn't know?
I feel like women have had extensions for years, but I definitely do think that social media has to play, like, it's monkey see, monkey do, right? You want what these influencers have. You want first of all, I always say that beauty gives you confidence, right? So even like just getting your lashes done, like anything you do, your nails, like even doing your eyebrows, right? Like anything just makes you feel good. And I think with extensions, I have really seen people's confidence go up, and not like in an egotistic way, just like, it's bad when you feel like you have no hair. Like if I take my extensions off, I'm like, don't put a mirror in my face.
Yeah.
But no, it just definitely gives you confidence. People walk differently. They talk differently. They present themselves differently. So I just think it's such a confidence booster.
I love that.
I see it all the time.
Yeah. Well, and I think, I mean, as women, our femininity comes a lot from our hair.
Exactly.
Right? And how we
100%.
And it's also like in the Latina culture, right? Our hair is everything.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm a Latina. Latinas have like beautiful, thick hair. And I'm like,
what happened?
What is this? What in the American is going on?
That is hilarious. But I also feel like that's why you're so good at what you do, because not only have you personally faced that obstacle, but then you found solutions.
Right.
Right? You found solutions for yourself. And so are there any women that you would say that are not eligible for extensions?
Women who have thick hair. I'm like, don't do it. I have some clients that I just do color on them. And they're like, I kind of want to get it because, again, monkey see, monkey do on social media, right? Yeah. And I'm like, you do not need it. Like, it's not even about the money. It's like, you don't need it. It's going to, first of all, your hair already takes like an hour to blow dry. Why do you want to add more time to that? Why do you want to add more weight to your hair? So yeah, there is people. And I'm extremely honest with my clients. Like if I feel like you're good on 2 rows, and we'll go over that, like what is 1 row, what is 2 rows. But I really just give them what they need. Some clients, I'm like, you just need 1 row. Your scalp cannot handle the tension of 2 rows.
Yeah.
So it's just, it depends what they're looking for.
Yeah.
And it depends on them. Like I said, if you're really, really bald, and I hate to say that word, but that's what it is, and there's not enough hair to grip into the bead, I'm not putting more than 2 rows on you.
Oh yeah, that was going to be my next question, because I'm not sure if you've seen this, but there's like a trending video right now on social media where there's this woman that you could really see her scalp through her hair, and she's still going in to get tape-ins, and people are commenting like, you just want to take her money, you want to do this, you want to do that, like you're not doing a good service.
You're not doing good for her, right?
Yeah. Like, what are your feelings on that? Like, if somebody loves it, like, what do you do?
I have lots to say about that because, okay, like we were talking about earlier, I don't have the Beaded Weft in right now. So I've been doing the Beaded Weft religiously for like 4 or 5 years in a row, right? And I went to New York in May and I took a new extension class. It was the lust in the beginning where I'm like, I loved it. And if you saw my social media stories, I was showing my maintenance on it. And it was just new to me. They're more flatter. You don't have to dry them. So clients, I was taking models. And after the lust went away and a month went through, I was like, I actually hate them. So I reached out to all my models and I was like, look, you have an appointment coming up, and I'm going to be very honest with you. I hate them. I'm losing a lot of hair.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's the way I'm taking care of them because I know what to do. I'm like, I think it's just a technique. So I told them, here are your 3 options. I have the hair. We can go ahead and proceed, but at least I was honest with you that I hate them and that I am losing a lot of hair.
Yeah.
I go, so you can do that. I can honor the same price and do the beaded weft with the install for the same price for the inconvenience, or I can refund you your money. Yeah. So I'm the type that I'm going to be very honest with you, because let's just say I kept that to myself where I'm losing a lot of hair. How do you come back to me and say, hey, I'm losing hair? Like, what face do I give you? Yeah. And be like, oh, no, you're not. You're like a bunch of bald spots. Yeah. I can't do that. That's not the way I work. It's not about the money. So they were all like grateful. They're like, no, thank you for your honesty. I was like, so these are your options. You tell me what I'm doing. They all went with the beaded weft.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I could totally see that.
So
I'm sure they appreciated that.
Oh, 100%. And, 2 of them I never even met. So it's like my clients, they expect that out of me. But like people that I don't know, they're like, no, thank you for being honest. I'm like, I just have to let that out of my chest because I would lose so much sleep at night if I installed it and I didn't say anything to them.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm so glad that I did them on myself. And not to, listen, some people might have a better experience with them. I don't know, but this is my personal experience with them. So I'm sharing my experience. Everybody has an opinion, right? So don't come at me if you're like, I love them, good for you. It's not my experience.
Yeah, for sure. So in saying that, like, there's the tape-ins, there's the K-tips, there's
I-tips.
Okay, so
there's the V-light now. There's, oh my God, there's like so many.
I think I've seen that.
The V-light?
It's like a curing light, right? That they put onto like the bead.
So you take like some strands of hair, you like put the glue on it, like with the mascara wand, you like brush it up and then you put the light on it and it like seals it. And it's pretty cool. But that's not for like it's like for people who are shedding like around their hairline, or like if you want a thicker bang. Yeah. It's not for like a full head. Maybe it is, but I'm not doing that. That's so much time consuming.
Oh, yeah. So then why did you decide to specialize in the beaded weft?
To me, it was the safest.
Okay.
And again, this is my opinion, right? Some people may say, no, it's not. Okay, fine. But my opinion, it's the safest and it's the fastest. It's the easiest. There's no glue. There's no tape involved. There's no keratin bond. It's a bead. You tighten it to put it in. You loosen it to remove it. You cut the thread and you're done. Okay. Now, you're going to experience shedding with all type of hair extensions. I don't care what anybody says. There's no way you're not, right? But to me, it was the one with the less shedding.
Okay.
And it's fast. Like I was mentioning to you earlier, if I shut up, I can do that in 7 minutes a row. But I talk my butt off the whole time. So it takes me like 25 minutes, which is still fast.
Yeah.
It's still fast.
It is still fast.
Yeah. So, but to me, that's a long time.
Yeah.
But my clients always said it. There was like a trend going. I don't know if you remember that, where people were offering like a silent treatment.
Yes.
I put a poll. My clients are like, if you ever stay quiet, I will never come back to you.
Yeah. They come in for
They love the shenanigans. Mm-hmm.
The socializing.
Oh, they love it.
I'm sure that a lot of people just want to come in. I mean, I hear this in the beauty industry all the time. Not only are we in the beauty industry, but we're also therapists.
Oh,
right?
my gosh. Where's my license?
They look forward to coming in and talking to us, right?
I
and
actually have clients that call me, crying to me, like about boy issues. And I'm like, it's like the blind leading the blind. Like, I'm single. Like, it's literally the blind leading the blind, right?
Yeah.
But even though I'm single, I actually give really good relationship advice. Or even like, so many of my clients will come up to me, hey, I'm starting a new business. How should I do this? And I'll help them with their social media. It's like family.
Yeah.
I love my clients, and I think they love me back.
I'm pretty sure that they love you back.
I'm pretty sure they do.
These girls like twerking while they're still working.
My assistant, I'm learning how to twerk. I'm going to be 40 years old. I'm going to be a twerk expert. Give me a month.
Give you a month? That is
Give me a month.
That is so funny. So I know that you said that the beaded weft is your favorite method, right? And you say it's because it's the safest. So is there a lot of like hair shedding? Does it damage your hair?
I always say it's like bleach. The bleach doesn't damage your hair. It's the person doing it, right? So like I am super, super anal about making sure that my sections are super clean.
Yeah.
And even with it being like 25 minutes, like I stop and I spray the hair. I get all the hairs out the way. I don't, like if you see my sections, they're very, very clean. And even my stitching, that's important. I've seen some, and I was not going to name anybody, but I've seen some where the stitching and the beading is so bad. I'm like, that's definitely going to cause damage. So it's hard to answer that question because it could be damaging if it's installed wrong.
Okay.
So it can be.
So it can be.
That's why I tell clients, I'm like, do your research. Like, this is one of those things where you have to research who's going to do it. It's like a tattoo artist, right? Like, you're not going to just go to any that's permanent. You want to go to the best. So I say the same thing. I'm like, you have to do your research. Like, anybody can curl the hair and make it look good. I always show my clients what it looks like straight before I curl it. I'm like, this is what it looks like when it's straight. So it's seamless. Now let's curl it because it looks better curl, right?
Yeah.
But on social media, you'll see a lot of people curling it because then you can't see, or they won't lift up the hair so you can see how the stitching is done. So yeah, I mean, to answer the question, it could be damaging if it's not done properly.
Yeah, that's
and I've seen it.
I'm sure that that's like also the scary point, or maybe even something that people don't consider when getting these treatments done.
Right.
So back to the extensions. Okay, because my cousin actually just sent me a video, and I'm going to have to show it to you after this. But
I'm scared.
It's like, I just want like the most natural extensions, right? And they're not. You can clearly tell where the extension is and where the hair ends. Yeah. So because I also know that here in this area, there are women that will clearly state, I install extensions, but I don't blend them.
Okay.
So what is it coming to Cindy Romo? Like, what are you doing in order for it to actually look like their hair?
Again, this is where you just have to be honest with it. Like, let's just say you come into me with your hair, and I'm using you because it's a visual, right? And you're like, I want 28 inches. I'm telling you, and you're like, my budget is this. I'm like, so either you cut the inches out because inches matter, or you bring your budget up, because with your budget, I need to do 3 rows. That's 12 wefts, and it's definitely not your budget. Yeah. So either you bring your budget up, or we give you 24 inches. Okay. Something that's in your budget. Okay. Where many people are glad. And I feel like this is people who are just starting because they just want the money. And I get it. We were all there, right? Like, I'm not knocking the hustle. But I feel like people who just want, like, some people are afraid to say no. I'm not. Yeah. I'm not. You can't. Like, you develop, thick skin being in the industry forever, because we're dealing with multiple personalities, as you know. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I can't do this for you. And if, as a client, you're like, well, this is my budget, and you're not willing to budge, I'm not servicing you then. Because like I was telling you earlier, I was like, you're not walking out of my salon saying I did that. Remember, I was giving stringy. I'm not doing that.
You can't do that because it's walking advertisement at the end of the day, right?
Your workspace.
So then, speaking about budgets.
What is that?
Yeah. What is the hair budget?
How much?
Yeah. How much is it going to be? Is there a range that you give your clients?
So thankfully, I have my own hair extension line. So I'm able, hair is affordable with me because there is no middleman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you wanted, I have clients that pay like $450 for like the hair with one row. If it's like an 18-inch, and then they're coming back and the install's $150 per row. So they're paying $450 like 3 times a year, twice a year. Okay. And then it's $150 every 6 to 8 weeks. Okay. So yeah, so the maintenance is actually I'm not terribly priced, which is probably why I'm so busy, but I just feel like I'm comfortable with the pricing and I like my clients.
Okay.
I don't break, like, leave it alone. I like it where I'm at.
Yeah.
And like I said, so it can go anywhere from, I've had clients go anywhere from $450 to like $3,000.
Okay.
So it all depends on what you're looking for.
And it depends on how much hair you're using.
100%.
Obviously, the length of
the length. Hair. Yeah. So a lot of companies, what they do is like an 18-inch blonde is more expensive than an 18-inch brunette. I don't know why. Mine is not. My 18-inch is the same price no matter what color, whether it's dimensional, shadow rooted, one color, whatever. It doesn't matter. My hair is the same price.
Okay.
So I like that for my clients.
So then how, depending on what they want, how many rows do you think that people are needing?
The average is 2.
The average is 2?
The average is 2 rows. That's it.
Wow. And I would have thought it would have been a lot more.
No, people need bigger heads. Yeah. If that's the case. There's times where clients are like, they're like, I need 3 rows. I'm like, well, you need to go gain some weight and come back with a bigger head because I don't know where I'm going to put this row. Like, it's going to be stitched on your forehead.
Yeah.
No, but the average is 2 rows. Each row is average at 4 wefts. Oh, I should have brought some.
Yeah.
So they're super thin, super seamless. They're like maybe this long, and it wraps like a halo. Okay. So the average is 4 of those per row. So the average client has 8 wefts.
8 wefts.
And that's maybe like 150 to 175 grams.
What does that mean? What do you mean?
How much it weighs.
Oh, how much it weighs. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know how much that is in ounces. I'm not a drug dealer. I just know it's like 150 grams, okay? Go ask the cartel.
You are hilarious. Go and ask the cartel.
Go ask the cartel.
So
go ask El Chapo.
You are so hilarious. So then a treatment like this, how often does it last or how long does it last?
The hair?
Yeah.
So my clients, before I say anything, I feel like people with blonde extensions have to buy hair sooner than brunettes. I just feel like the blonde starts to fade faster. Okay. Like with the heat and just exposure to the environment. Yeah. On average, my clients are buying hair every 8-9 months. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, that's buying the hair. That's not the maintenance. The maintenance is every 6 to 8 weeks. So I'm seeing them a lot, but they're buying hair like twice a year.
So why is it that they have to buy new hair? What happens to the hair?
It sheds. Okay. It starts to lose its length. You're putting heat on it. You just have to buy new hair. So I actually made a post last time about a client who bought 28 inches in November, and it's super long. And she came back last month, and now it's like maybe 22 inches. So she's lost like 6 inches since, and that's normal. Okay. It's not like abnormal. It's normal, but that's why you need to buy new hair. Now, if you want to go from that to cutting it and just keeping it maybe at 1 row to your length, you can do that. The hair's still good, but at that point, you lost half its density and you lost most of your length. Okay, I see. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty similar to like natural hair. Yeah. The longer it goes. And you trim it every time you get it installed. Yeah.
And it gets thinner.
Well, it is. So it's Remy hair. What Remy is Remy hair is, for example, let's just take my hair and your hair. Mm-hmm. It's real hair, but it's been processed. It has chemicals. It's been colored, but it's real hair. It's not like you take a 4-year-old. That's virgin, real human hair, where it's never been touched. That's more expensive. Okay. But what I sell is Remy hair, and it's great.
What's the difference between Remy hair and...
That it's been processed.
So it's been processed.
Yeah. So for example, actually, my hair is actually virgin because I haven't colored it. I think you said yours is too, right? Yeah. But for example, like let's just take a girl in the street who has a balayage. Okay. That's her real hair, but it's been processed. She has bleach. She has toner. She's put a lot of heat in it. She's done things to it where, again, you take a 4-year-old who hasn't done anything to her hair. That hair is expensive.
So that's Remy hair. Because I've heard of like Indian hair. Like they have like
they have Indian, Russian, Chinese. There's so many.
Yeah,
there's so many.
And they say that that's like the best hair from like Asia. They're like the best hairs from Asia.
I say this all the time, and some of it most of this hair comes from China.
Yeah.
Like, so 90%.
Do they have like hair growing farms? Are these women just like kept?
In some countries you have to like cut it. Like I think in India they're forced to cut their hair to like sell it and to like provide for their family. And like I know if I wanted to, I can actually go to like a little village in Mexico and be like, here's $30, and I'll have like a little girl cut off her hair, and I can come back here and make it into extensions. Now I would never do that.
Oh my god!
But yeah, that's done in a lot of countries. So when you get like virgin real hair, that's chances are that's what happened. That's where it came from.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh!
I know it's sad, right?
It reminds me almost like of blood diamonds. You know, like
I know.
You know. That I had no idea. Mm-hmm. So are there women
actually now we're all depressed.
I know. Are there agencies that are like boycotting this type of treatment?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think
it's
so.
Just something that
I mean, like we were talking about, everything's a business, right?
Yeah.
Everything's about making money. Like,
oh my goodness.
Money makes the world go round.
It sure does. It sure does. Mm-hmm. Well, that's kind of sad.
It is sad.
That is sad. But I mean, I think it's also, and I'm sure, and like, let's like flip the feel, right?
Let's go happy.
Because I'm sure that it could be also very empowering. Like, how beautiful would it be if like there's Asian companies that are ran by women who are doing this for women to support women and help the women support their families.
Right.
I mean, maybe we're onto something here.
I mean, if you want to look on the positive side, yeah, you may have cut this woman's hair and her daughter, but now they have like their rent paid for the next few months. They have food on the table, if you want to be positive.
Yeah, I mean, that's totally positive. That could be empowering.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would be
sad.
curious to know if there are agencies out there where women are advocating.
I'm sure there's probably one. You know, I met with a girl in Miami, and they were selling the hair for like no less than $3,000 for like hair exactly like that. So maybe they do that. Like I know they were getting their hair from like a lot of people in Mexico.
Okay.
Where they just cut the ponytail and then they come and they make it into extensions. So I don't know though if they were doing it in an empowering way, but I know people are doing this is what I'm saying. I just don't know if it's in an empowering way.
Oh, well, I mean, I find that to be very, very interesting, you know, and
I know. So whose hair is this?
I know, whose hair is that? I mean, if you really think about it, right? It is, you're wearing somebody else's hair.
It is.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is that way. So once you have these hair extensions in and they've gone through the process and somebody's ready to take them out, what do you suggest? Well, actually, let's backtrack a little bit. While people have the extensions in, what are they doing to maintain them? How do you maintain real hair?
So again, they're coming in every 6, 7, 8 weeks. To maintain them, it's actually very simple. So you don't brush around the stitching just because you don't want the bristles to loosen the bead or break the thread, right?
Okay.
Which happens very often. You have to at least do like a hydrating mask once a week, preferably, just because they do dry out. You know, even though it's real hair, there's no like root where the protein comes in. So like you have to keep them hydrated. You have to use like heat protectant. I only sell one shampoo just because, to me, I've been loyal to it for the past 4 years because it's amazing. It's such a good shampoo. And I don't know, many people don't know this, but a good shampoo should never lather. If it lathers, it's a bad shampoo. That means there's too many chemicals in it. Yeah. Like when my clients first...
I'm like, that's a shock, right?
No, it's true though. And if you think about it, it makes sense, right? So like a lot of clients would be like, this didn't lather. I'm like, perfect.
Yeah.
You don't want it to lather. That's how you know it's organic and it's more natural. So that's what you want. And I'm the type of person, and it might be a bad thing because I'm not as open to it, but when I find something that's good, I'm loyal to it.
Oh, yeah.
So I haven't found a shampoo better than that one for extensions. So that's the only one I sell because I don't want to give my clients too many options.
Yeah.
And like I said, it works. Yeah. The mask is amazing. The conditioner is amazing. The shampoo is amazing. So we're sticking to it. Okay.
Well, you know, you have to follow Hairwife to get like the down low on her secret sauce. That's exciting.
Mm-hmm. And I catch my kids using it and I'm like,
that's my
this is expensive.
Yeah.
And you don't care about your hair. Go use Redken. No shade to Redken, but it's better for them to use it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then once the extension is coming out, people take breaks, right? They take breaks.
Not my clients.
No. Okay. Well, that's
not my client. In Miami, my clients in Miami did, but not in Chicago. No.
So why do you think that's different? What is there the difference between
Chicago? I think it was more like a lifestyle. Like it's like people who always get their fake nails, right? Like it's like there's no breaks. You're not doing it because you're going to a wedding, or like you're doing it because this is your lifestyle. And I feel like Chicago's more like that, where I feel like Miami was more in the summer. Nobody wants all that extra hair in the summer in Miami.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
You're totally
and
right.
I'm gonna keep it positive. It was just very seasonal for them in a financial way, also in Miami, where here it's like, this is my lifestyle. This is my lifestyle. It's part of me. It's like getting your eyebrows threaded. Yes.
Yeah. It's part of your budget. Over there, it's more like, oh, maybe I have a special event going on.
Yeah.
Or I just booked a really great project.
I'm going on a trip or something, right?
Okay. And then, so when you see clients that have come from other people and you see damage, what do you explain to them? How do they restore their hair? Do you automatically go in, or is there like a treatment plan that you follow before you start putting your own?
Well, the good thing is that I don't have to tell them that it's a bad one, because they came to me because they know it's a bad one.
Okay.
One thing you never want to do is badmouth another hairstylist. Yeah. I don't like to do that. Unless you come at me, I'm coming at you.
Yeah.
But you never want to badmouth a hairstylist. You never, and they'll be like, be honest, how bad is it? And I lie to the client, I'm like, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
I like bald spots. But I do say, look, it's not that bad. I've seen worse, which you've always seen worse. So it's like, you're not really lying to them. You're kind of just making them feel better.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not that bad. I've seen worse, but we're going to make it better. And I do say, you have some like bald spots here. So I have to like adjust your placement, because if I keep your placement at the same spot where your bald spot is at, first of all, there's no hair there to grab. And second of all, you want to always move the placement, even if it's a centimeter up or a centimeter down. You never want the placement to stay in the same position. Okay. It's just too much tension for the scalp. Okay. Like let the others, let it breathe for a little bit. You know what I mean?
And let the other ones take the tension for a little bit while.
Yeah, I like to do that. And I don't tell my clients that. I just do it, and they never even notice. And I'm not doing anything wrong. Like, I'm doing what I should do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why they come to the expert, right? Because otherwise they can just, buy the hair, put it in, or have their mom put it in their kitchen.
I don't know about all that. Maybe with tapes, it could be more homemade. With the beaded weft, I don't see how you can do it yourself.
Yeah.
I can't even do it myself. I wish.
You wish you could.
Oh, I wish I could.
Yeah. 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 So, so then we're saying that, for damaged hair, for people who are coming in, you're repositioning their wefts. You're telling them this is what we're going to do to give them a little bit of a break. And we already said that you think that the beaded wefts are the least damaging.
In my opinion, yes.
Yeah. And that's because of like when you're beating these wefts, like you're actually sewing this weft of hair into their hair.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you're using the inkers. What were you using?
Yeah. So like we were saying, it's very similar to like the braided technique that people use, but except instead of braids, like, how the braid goes like a halo from like here to here. Yeah. It's like that, but it's with beads. They're usually like that far apart, and you put the bead right in the middle. So when you do that all around, there's no number of beads. It could be anywhere from 10 to 15 beads, depending on the person's head, right? And how big you're taking your sections. But once you do the beads and you place the wefts on it, you stitch on the side of the beads. Like, I never stitch through the bead, because if you do, now you just open up the bead with the needle and it's loose.
You've broken it up.
Yeah.
So there's no foundation.
Exactly.
Or the foundation's shaky now.
So that's why you always stitch next. So like if this is the bead, you would stitch here and here, like the pockets on the side, never through. I've seen people do it through the bead. It's just not my preference.
Yeah.
I don't think, like we were saying, it's an art, right? Like, you're going to learn how to do something one way, but then once you get like the rhythm of it and comfortable with it, you create it your own. That's what I love about our industry. It's like, I can go take a color class from someone in New York and I can do it like them until I'm comfortable with it. But then I'm going to be like, this works better for me.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the beautiful part about being an artist, that there is no right or wrong way.
100%. Yeah, because you can change the way that you maneuver the color, the way that you leave it on, the way that you apply it. the sections that you're taking, you know, all
exactly.
of that stuff.
Like the girl that works next to me, when she does a color, she teases the hair. I never tease the hair. I never tease the hair. I never tease the hair. I know how to, and not that I'm like great at it, but I just know how to do it where you don't have to tease the hair. I just don't. It's a preference. Again, no one's right, no one's wrong. It's just a preference. This is the beauty of our industry. It's an art.
Yeah.
It's whatever you want.
So then when somebody's buying their hair from you, do you have a whole like array of shades that they can choose from?
I definitely do. Oh yeah, there's over like 26 colors.
Okay.
I do. And I used to be really good about having like a lot of hair in stock, but now I don't just because it gets too expensive on my end, buying all that hair.
Yeah.
But delivery is like 3 to 5 business days. So it's not
perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect. And there's many times that I'll have like 18 or 20 inch in stock, but now when you're doing like 26, 28, now you're talking like thousands of dollars. I'm not paying for that up front.
Yeah.
So that's special order.
And then you have to keep it on stock, and then you don't know if you're
and then the colors, with all the colors, like I'm not a millionaire. I don't have a sugar daddy. Yeah. I can't do this. I have a mortgage. I have children. I have a dog. Like I can't do that.
So then any color. So like let's say that somebody comes in and you don't have an extension that's exactly that color of that client, or let's say that client comes in and she's like, I want fire engine red hair.
We have that.
And so you have a color that's like that.
I have 3 different reds.
And if it's not exactly that color, do you color the extension
You
also?
can tone. Yeah, you can tone them.
Oh, okay.
You can tone. You can't. Well, I feel like I should be careful when I say this. Most extensions, I believe you can bleach. I don't. Okay. I'm just like, there's so many different shades of blonde. It's like, let's try to match it. Like, I rather tone them. I don't know what bleach. I've personally never bleached, and I don't want to. I feel like there's so many options that I don't have to do all that.
Yeah.
But I know some people do, and hey, cool, you know, and then they charge you for their time and all that. I just don't want to do that. I rather just, and most of the time when people are blonde too, I just mix different colors. So if you go online to like, let's just say Bombshell, right? Mm-hmm. You have to buy, they sell it in either 4 wefts or 8 wefts. Again, 4 wefts will give you 1 row. 8 wefts will give you 2 rows. So you have to buy them in 4 or in 8. I don't do that because I have my own line. Mine is customized. So sometimes my clients get 3 different colors and I charge them the same price because it doesn't matter to me which 8 wefts you get as long as you get 8. Yeah. So that's why I love having my own hairline, that I don't have to do all that coloring, because I could be like, okay, we're doing 2 of this, 2 of this, and 4 of those.
Yes.
Or we're doing 5, 3, and 1, which I do often. So it's, you can play with it.
I've seen that on your stories where I think most recently you posted something and it was like this beautiful, like ashy, like brown. Yeah. It was like, it was really, really soft and pretty.
I mix like 3 colors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the advantage that I have and that my clients have when they come to me, because I can do that. Other companies, you can't. You have to buy 4 packs of all 3 colors to do that. Not with me.
So you can like weave it in and blend it in. Yeah. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. And then for the hair color, so then now when you're coloring their natural hair, you just formulate it so that it matches exactly to that. Mm-hmm. And is there a difference in fading from the natural hair to the hair extension? Or do you think it's about the same? It
depends. Like my brunettes are so easy because it's brunette, right? So with them, you don't have to do anything.
There's not a lot of changes that we go through.
Right. Yeah. But the blondes, you know, it always ends up going back to warm. Yeah. So yeah, you will see the difference, but usually we'll tone their hair again. It's never nothing drastic, but you can sometimes see like the little difference.
The little differences, yeah. With so many minerals and stuff in our waters now.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I'm sure that those blondies, especially, oh my gosh, if you had clients out here this way, I mean, there's some people that
still have blondes.
Water. Oh, there's a lot of blondes. I mean, all the girls are blondes pretty much.
Blonde is not for everybody.
Yeah.
I'm a brunette girl. I love brunette. Don't get me wrong, I love blondes too, but I just feel like some people need to stop trying to be a blonde.
I agree with you.
I see it all the time.
Girl, and I even know, like, we were talking about this earlier, how you're saying, you know, I can't come on this podcast with my extensions out.
I can't, right? Yeah, I can't be bald talking about hair.
Extensions, exactly. And I feel like I see that a lot, you know, especially out in the suburbs, where it's like the hairstylist is promoting hair, but then their hair is like a mess.
I'm not coming to you and you look like that.
Yes. Right? So, I mean, just for like the industry girls, you know, like take care of your hair, practice what you preach.
That's what I say all the time.
Right?
Now, don't get me wrong, because I have such a clientele already, I often come in like in my Pilates clothes, whatever. My hair is always done. I look presentable. You know, it's like the days of being in heels and and wedges and all that, they're over. Like, we don't do that. We show up in sneakers and stuff, right? And it's fine. Clients don't care, but look presentable.
Yeah.
If you're going to wear like yoga pants to work, cool. Make sure your makeup's done. Make sure your hair is done. And then you don't look as bad.
Yeah. And then people trust you, right?
Yeah.
They're going to trust you more.
And don't get me wrong. There's times where I'm like sneaking in a client. So I'm like, well, you're getting me straight out of the gym. And they're like, I don't care. You know, like they just don't care. But like to take a new client like that, I mean, I always play devil's advocate and I put myself in the position of a client. If I'm coming to you for the first time and you're like that, now I've seen your work on Instagram. You could be good, but it's like,
do you really fully trust? You probably won't fully trust until it's over and done. And then you're like, okay.
It's like when you're on a date and you show up and a guy's like in sweatpants and you're like, really, dude? You didn't put any effort into this? Oh my and he could be the sweetest guy, right? You're like, okay, after you give him a try.
Sure, you know.
Yeah. Like really?
You know, that was your first impression.
Right, exactly. It's your first impression.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
So going back to your business, you know, you're talking about how you present yourself and all of this, and you briefly told me about how you started your business. Can you please like just give us, I feel like you need to share this story.
The pandemic story?
How you found your place and how you're really, if people don't follow you on social media,
they'll never know.
Nobody would ever know.
No.
Nobody would ever know. So tell us, like, how did you start it? When did you start it?
So I want to first say that God really just has a plan for you. And that's exactly what happened, because I don't have that I need to own a salon type of ego. I'm very okay renting a station and having somebody else worry about everything. Yeah. Here's your rent. I'm here to make money and I'm out. I don't have an issue with that. Actually, that sounds wonderful. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I had no issues renting, and I was renting from this girl, Coco in Elmwood, who she's great. And, you know, she was like a single mom. So I was there for like a year, and it was just great working with her. Like, I loved her. But the pandemic hit and we had to shut down. And we couldn't work. Yeah. Well, we couldn't work. Yeah. Don't come at me. I didn't work. My friends owned a gym, and they were like, you know, you can come work out, but you have to come in through the back door, and you have to be here like by 5 a.m. And I'm an early bird anyway. So I was driving, and mind you, I was living in my place for like 10 years already at this time. We're in the middle of the pandemic. It has to be like maybe May, and the world didn't open up again until June. Yeah. So I was like, all right, I'm going to the gym, and I just drive. I take this route that I've never taken in my life, ever, ever, ever. It's like 3 blocks away from my apartment. And I drive by, and for some reason, this big yellow sign just like stood out for rent. And I was like, oh, I've never seen that before. And I took a picture of it. I was like, I'll call it later. It's like 4 a.m. I don't think 4:40. They're not going to answer. Yeah. So I go to the gym. I work out. I was like, on the way back, I want to stop by again and see it. So I did that, and I parked my car. I park in front of it. And I was just like kind of like, you know, peeping inside. It's dark. It's dusty. Yeah. I was like, let me see if it even has potential. Like, I might not even like it, right? It might be too big. It might be too small. Like, but as I'm peeking in, there's like this little German old lady like watering the flowers right out front. And she's like, are you interested in the space? I was like, oh, are you the landlord? She's like, I am. And I said, before I waste my time and your time, you know, how much is it? Yeah. She gave me the price, and I was like, that's like one client, you know? So I was like, okay. I was like, go get the keys. Yeah. So then she goes, I have to bring my husband, and he's the one that takes care of all this. I'm like, go get your man, girl. Go get your man. Yeah. So she goes and gets her husband. Now he comes back. He opens it up, and it's a disaster. It's a mess, but it has potential. Yeah. And the beautiful part about it is that it was already a salon. So the outlet's in, the plumbing is in. It's just cosmetic. A lot of cosmetic. Yeah. But it's just cosmetic at that point. I was like, okay. So we're going inside. We look at it, and I'm like, a lot of money, but it has potential. Yeah. So then I asked him, how much is it? And he gave me a price even lower than what his wife gave me. I was like, bring the lease right now. So I signed it, and I opened it like a month and a half later while the world was like shut down.
Still shut down.
But I had my own clients. Till this day, I've been having that spot for 4 years. Wait, 2020. Yeah, 4 years. I don't have a sign up. I'm not on Google. I'm not on Yelp. I don't offer online booking. I don't know how I run this business. I don't take walk-ins. So I opened it because I did have the clientele. You know, I always said, if I open up a business, I don't want to lose sleep at night stressing about how's the rent going to get paid. Yeah. I don't want that. I have And I'm not going to be like, I have kids, because even if you don't have kids, like, you don't want to go to sleep with that stress.
No.
I like to be stress-free. Somehow I'm always stressed, but I like to be stress-free. So I always said, I'm not going to open up a storefront until I can, but this just happened. I was just trying to go to the gym.
I love that. I mean, that's like something just coming from God.
That's exactly what I said from the beginning. God does his thing, and I'm just like, okay.
Okay, you're like, let's do this. So now you're in the salon.
Yes.
How did you said you already had some clientele.
Oh, yeah.
But now at this point, you've only been doing extensions for about a year?
Extensions? No, I've been doing them for like 5 years now.
Oh, no, when you first opened your salon.
Oh, yeah.
So like about a year.
I'm sorry,
so
yes.
You're like about a year into extensions, and you're like, okay, now I'm in here. I have the salon. I need to promote these extensions. What are you doing to build up this clientele? Like, what's happening?
Social media. It was all Instagram.
So you're doing like before and afters, you're showing the process, or what were you doing?
It's a lot of work, yeah. So I was on there. You know, they say that back then, now the algorithm's always changing.
Yeah.
But back then, it was said to post on your story 10 times a day and on your page 1 to 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Like, I was posting, but I built a clientele like in 8 months. It usually takes, it takes like 2 years to build.
Yeah.
So that just tells you about how much time I was putting into my social media.
Wow.
Now I don't care to, not that I don't care to, now I'm just like tired. I'm like, I'd rather go to the gym or Pilates and post so much. So I'm not as good at, but I'm also at the point where I have a clientele. I don't really have to. You go through like stages of a business owner, right? Sometimes you have to hustle in the beginning, and then you could chill back. The problem is when you take a step back and you chill back, you get kind of comfortable, and you have to remember, nope, come back. And, I was there like even like last week, I was talking to my friend on the way here, and I was like, I have my motivation to post again. He's like, good. So I go through my moments where I'm like, I want to quit and be a stay-at-home wife, and I don't even have a husband. Nobody wants me, and I'm single as hell. But I like the idea of that. And then I'm like, no, I want to be a boss babe. I want to work. I want to make money. No, I want to go to the pool. So maybe it's bipolar.
No, I can totally relate. And I'm sure that a lot of our entrepreneurs on here can relate with that too. There's often times that I'm like, oh, I want to conquer the world, and I want to.
I don't want to get out of bed.
And then there's other days where I'm like, you know what? If somebody were just to say,
I canceled.
Or if somebody was like, hey, baby, I want you to stay home and raise the family. I may just be up for that. I may just be up for that. So
I know.
It's like this. I understand that it's like you want to do all the things. And sometimes I think that when we get to that point where we say, somebody just take care of me, it may be because we are in a service industry and we take care of every single body. Plus,
you're at home. Exactly.
So I can totally relate to that. And I think too, like, don't be, so hard on yourselves when you're going through those lulls of like posting and not posting and being on social media. It is time consuming.
And it's okay to take a break.
And, and even when you're just filming your life,
right?
Trying to share aspects of your life, I feel like that even takes away from the moments that you're trying to create for yourself.
It does, because you're like, oh, the camera's on. Now, thank God for me, I don't care about any of that. I mean, you've seen like my behind the scenes, like, I don't care about that stuff.
You are ruthless.
I am who I am. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not any different. If I'm talking to you, then I'm talking, like, I know how to behave, but I am who I am. Like,
this is what it is.
This is what it is. This is who I am, and you don't like it, don't come to me. Appointment with me.
Or I remember you had like a little series there that had me intrigued constantly. Every single day I was like, well, what's happening with this woman at the bus stop?
Oh,
was it the woman
my
at the
homeless friend who we're not really friends, but in my heart she was my friend. Yeah, so that homeless lady was at the bus stop, and I just kept giving her money and like hand warmers and like snacks and everything. And then my client, who's a police officer, I was like, hey, go check on her. And then one day she disappears. Like, where did you guys put my friend? She's like, we put her in a shelter. I was like, you took my friend.
You took my friend. But I mean, those are things of life.
And it has nothing to do with hair.
It has nothing to do with hair, but it does have to do with you and who you are. Right.
And then like my dating thing, when I got my rounds of hinges, I kept you guys updated. Yes. Now, I did that because I never took these men serious. Like, obviously, if I'm trying to go on a serious date, I don't post about that.
Yeah.
But like when I do my shenanigans and my rounds, like I keep you guys posted on that too, because it's fun.
It is so fun. It is so fun.
It's so fun.
I follow you as a business like mentor, social media. Like I feel that your relationship with social media is so positive.
Oh, nice.
Because it's hilarious. It seems natural. It's like, you know what? I'm really going to literally just bring you through my day.
And I'm not filtering anything. I'm like, this is me with no makeup. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm nobody.
Or to be natural, because I am a true believer that God made women because we're beautiful. And I think every woman, no shape, size, color, anything, we are a specimen of beauty. We are. You know, it's whether you believe it or not, but ladies, y'all have to start believing it, because that's why we're made, you know. But I just want to thank you so much, Cindy. Thank you for making this such a super fun podcast and for sharing everything, all your tips and tricks for extensions, and for everybody looking to get the service done. You're based in Chicago.
Yes.
And she only takes appointments, okay? And if you
don't book it online. There's no online booking.
Yes. So contact her directly through your Instagram.
You could DM me or call a text.
Yep. So you can find her at Hairwife. Okay? At Hairwife on social media. Thank you again for joining us on this beautiful podcast with Cindy Romo, the Hairwife. And to follow up and keep updated on all the tips and tricks from all the experts, follow us on beautytalkpodcast.com and on all our social media. Until next time.